Hey, thanks for coming back to SEE-HEAR-PROPHESY. I'm going to try to give you a lot of information in a short amount of time as I'm on break from work and will not be able to stay on here but a few minutes. Basically, I believe it was last Sunday I was given a vision as I was riding in a car with my husband and a friend. And basically I saw a couple warring angels standing in a cornfield. The corn was very high, like it was ready to harvest. He looked at me, had a strange look on his face, but I was given no revelation at that time. Later that same day, I asked the Lord, what did that vision mean? And I went back over it, stating what I saw, so he knew that what I had seen, in case he wanted to clarify anything. And I audibly heard, "From the tendrils down." And with that came a heavy feeling. And the first thought, it came threefold. The first thought actually was that something was going to happen to the agriculture of vegetation. I don't know if it's across the United States as a whole or just in pockets. But at any rate, "from the tendrils down" is what he said. I had to wait until later because I actually didn't know what tendrils were. So of course, when I looked that up, I realized that that is the little shoots that's on the very, very end of like the vine that grow way up high. So that gave me an even heavier feeling, to be honest with you. Knowing that something was going to happen to the agriculture of vegetation, it was going to happen from high up down. And I did feel that this would happen at some point, kind of like between Revelation 2 and Revelation 6, which unfortunately right now I can't quote and I don't have my Bible with me. But if you look at Revelation 2 to Revelation 6, you'll see that food is going to become scarce. So I believe that will happen at some point. But then he gave me additional information. I feel the second part is that he has been cleaning his church, which we've already spoke about on a previous video. He has been cleaning us first because the word says that he will, and he is not a man that he should lie. He has already been working on that. However, I believe he's saying, "I'm doing it from the tendrils down." In other words, from those delicate new little shoots, from those brand new believers, those baby Christians, as people would call them. From the baby Christians down, he is looking at his church. He is cleaning his church right now. And then lastly, brought me back to the look on the face of the angel standing in the field. And what I believe he's saying is the harvest is full grown and ready. The angels are already in the field. So where are you? So I believe that, basically he is cleaning his church. He is looking at the attitudes and the components of our heart. And he is wanting us actively, not only getting rid of whatever we need to get rid of, letting him cleanse us, but actively wanting us to actively be working in the fields for the harvest. So that would be the end result of what I feel for that particular one. Secondly, I had a warning dream. The warning dream started with me being kind of walked up to a large hole in the ground. However, I think I only saw a hole in the ground because he wanted to show me that what I was about to see was under the ground. So I was taken down in that hole into an opening that looked like a regular building once you walked in. Nice wide hallway, very contemporary, but it wasn't like just a hole in the ground or some dirty basement. This was like a beautiful building that's underground, and I was taken up a very wide hallway. And as you go up the hallway, there would be dividing gates that you had to actually get through to continue on down the hall. And then when we got to the last part, I was shown to the left this huge room that was almost like a warehouse. And on the warehouse there were shelves and shelves and shelves from floor to ceiling. And on these shelves were I mean, like barrel type containers, and then other smaller type different containers. But all were kind of like barrels or larger containers, not as big as the barrels, but still that sort of container. These shelves were filled with that. And there were actually people milling around, like people actually working in this underground place. But I felt like everything that I saw was secret. In other words, it's not publicly known. It is hidden away. Directly after I took in the warehouse, I immediately saw, as if I'm looking right at the front of a train that is moving very quickly, and it's a modern day looking train, and I saw a black thing kind of crawling up on the front of the train. It felt demonic. Or bad intentions, I guess. And then it immediately moved where I saw an airplane close up, and I was taken kind of close to the airplane, and I do apologize. I was unable to hang on to colors or if there were any words on the airplane, but I was taken close up to an airplane, and if I do have a remembrance of what I saw, then I will come back and add to this. Right after the airplane, I saw what appeared to be a very overcrowded bus with people both sitting and standing, and then the bus immediately turned into like a boat. And I just felt that we are in danger of having people perhaps with some sort of gasoline or fertilizer or something that would be held in containers. I think we are in danger of having attacks on different modes of transportation that carry a lot of people at once. I know we've suffered that in the past, but I believe that the Lord was saying that there are people that are plotting those things right now, and on a larger scale, plotting attacks on our infrastructure and our transportation system. So please be in prayer about all of that. If you get anything different or anything additional to what I've said, please contact me. I'd love to hear from you. If you can't leave a message here as a comment, then you can send me an email at SEE-HEAR-PROPHESY@gmail.com, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Obviously, my heart is heavy. Nobody likes to see things that they don't necessarily like to see, or know things that they don't like to know. But I know that the Lord speaks to me. I know what He shows me. I do ask that you take it to the Lord, because I believe the Holy Spirit will give you, a nod, yes, pay attention to this, or no, just discard it. And you will not hurt my feelings if the Lord or the Holy Spirit tells you to discard something that I've said, because I don't want to misstate what He's showing or telling me. So at any rate, I do ask you to pray. Obviously, there would be a lot of people involved in any one of those cases, and I saw just several of them, kind of one right after another. In the meantime, God bless you. May you and your family pass through the crowds, just as Jesus did, until your appointed time. It's getting late, folks. God bless.